So today we're going to do a fun doodle project that you can do with anything you have at your house. I'm not doing it on any fancy paper. I just have plain old printer paper here. You could do it on notebook paper. It doesn't matter if it has lines or grids or whatever. If it's the back of a piece of scrap paper, it doesn't matter. Also, size doesn't really matter. The other materials you'll need are a pencil. You will need a black marker of some sort. You could just use a regular Crayola type marker, or here I have a Sharpie. It is permanent. I think a permanent marker works a little bit better. And then you will need markers, colored pencils, or crayons. I have these coloring brush pens that I have lots of colors of, but you can use, a lot of you have these type of Crayola markers at home that works great. Here's another thin marker. You could even use Sharpies. Like I said, colored pencils and crayons work really well too. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to draw a curvy, noodly line on your paper. Then you are going to draw another not so curvy, semi-straight line down through the center of your other line. Then the next part is really up to you. You're going to go in and we're going to fill in all of and I'm going to connect my ends. So if you see that. Now we're going to do a bunch of doodles and Zentangles, if you know what those are, to make a really cool, fun design. You'll start by just making some doodles and designs with, you could use your pencil. For this, I'm just going straight for it with the marker. I don't really care if I mess up. I don't really think there is a way. After you get all of your little side pieces filled in, you can go in and add some more details. When you think you have it just about where you want it to be with your design, and you can always come back and add more to it, then you're going to switch to color. Before you start coloring, you might make some decisions, like, are you going to stick to a certain color combination, warm colors or cool colors? Are you going to use all the colors of the rainbow? Do you want to stick to pastel colors? Maybe you want to do complementary colors if you know your color wheel and you want to do something like that. Or you can just go for it and make your decisions as you go along. I do recommend that if you use a color in one spot, you use it in another spot as well. Repeats in colors and patterns are pleasing to the eye, and they draw your eye throughout your artwork. notice is that as I've been coloring, I've been skipping around. This is good because it gives some of your marker a chance to dry in one area while you're working on another, and then you can come back, and that will help avoid bleeding of colors into each other. One technique I'm doing here to color in a large area is using the side of my brush. If you have a tip or a brush tip like this, or if you have a Crayola marker like that with a chisel tip, you know that you can, instead of just coloring with the tip, which will wear down your tip and ruin it for doing fine detail work, also it takes a long time, you can lay your brush on the side and it colors in a wider area. You'll have smoother coverage, less stroke lines, and it'll go a lot faster. Okay, so a couple things you'll notice is that I started off just using sort of the purples and magentas and greens, and then I decided to add some bluer blues and also the orange. There are a couple of interesting things you can do with different color schemes. You can stick, like I said, with warm or cool colors. So if you were doing warm colors, you'd stick to reds, pinks, yellows, oranges. If you were just doing cool colors, it would be blues and greens. Full rainbow, of course, is all of the colors. You also could do what I did here, where I included from this package a lot of the colors, but I left out one. So if you think about the color wheel, maybe you could leave out everything but yellow or everything but orange. Here I did all of the colors in this packet, but I did not do any yellows or any reds. So it makes for an interesting sort of feel to this. Now I'm going to go back over, because my black marker was kind of thin, so I'm going to go back over some of my black lines just to make them stand out a little more. You can also double check to make sure that all of your areas are colored in. Add any more detail that you think it needs, and then we'll go to what comes next. Okay, so now you could be done, but I think it looks really nice if you can color in the background. And for that part, I do like to use a colored pencil or a crayon. It goes faster. Also, it adds a different texture. And different texture in art means more visually interesting. For this, I'm coloring on the side, so I'm using as much of the pencil lead as possible. I'm sort of holding it like this and laying it on its side. Also, I've chosen a lighter color, but is very similar to one of the colors I already have in my design. And I am, if it's black, I can go over it, but I'm also being careful to get inside of my design and not color over some of the lighter colors so that my design will really pop out at the end. And there you have it. Doodle art. I'm not sure which way it goes up.